After clearing my wife's $72,000 debt, I overheard her say, "Now that he's paid everything, I can finally leave." I didn't confront her. I just transferred the house into my sister's name. This morning, my ex showed up crying in the rain. "Hey there. We're working hard to hit our first 1,000 subscribers. If you love true, emotional stories, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know." Now let's get into the story. I paid off $72,000 of my wife's debt, thinking it was the best gift I could give her. It was a Thursday night. I remember that clearly because it was the first time in months we weren't eating microwave leftovers or frozen meals. I'd made reservations at a quiet little Italian place we used to love. Candlelight. Wine. I even wore the cologne she said made me smell like when we first met. She smiled. She laughed at my bad jokes. She reached across the table and held my hand like she hadn't done in forever. And for a moment, I thought, yeah, this was worth it. All of it. I had worked double shifts for almost a year, sold my car, burned through every hour of overtime, even pulled money out of a small emergency fund I'd been building since college. And why? Because she told me that her loans were weighing her down. Because I wanted to see her breathe easier. I told her that night, "It's done. All of it. Credit cards. The last bit of your student debt. Gone. You don't owe a single cent now." She cried. Or at least, I thought she did. Later that night, I was half asleep on the couch while she was in the bedroom on the phone with her best friend. She didn't know I was awake. She didn't even check if I could hear her. And then she said it. "Now that he's paid everything off, I can finally leave. I don't even feel guilty anymore." Just like that. That was the sentence that split the ground open under me. She laughed when she said it, like it was some kind of private joke. I didn't know whether to feel angry, stupid, or just hollow. I sat there for maybe 10 minutes, just staring at the wall. My ears were buzzing, and not a single word she'd ever said to me felt real anymore. But I didn't get up. I didn't walk into the room. I didn't ask her what the hell that meant. Instead, I picked up my phone, opened my notes app, and wrote one thing. Play dumb. For now. Because I knew right then, I wasn't going to beg her to stay. I was going to show her exactly what freedom felt like. The next morning, she kissed me on the cheek and asked if I could pick up almond milk on my way home from work. I nodded, smiled, said, "Of course." Meanwhile, I was already calling my buddy James. James isn't a hacker or anything. He just works in finance and has a scary talent for following digital footprints. We met years ago during a college internship and kept in touch. I once helped him move apartments during a snowstorm. He owed me. I gave him a name, a number, the guy I suspected she was talking about. Her coworker she'd mentioned a few times over the past few months. The one she always said was annoying. Loud. Not her type. Funny how that works. James got back to me later that day. Turns out this guy wasn't just a friend from work. They'd gone out for drinks 6 times in the past 3 weeks. Places I paid for, by the way. His name showed up in a few Venmo requests that looked like group lunch stuff. But if you looked closely, it was always 2 meals. Not 3. Never 4. Just 2. Also, her new laptop, the one she claimed she needed for remote work, she had it shipped to his address. She lied to me in high def. I didn't tell her any of this. I just played my part. I asked about her day, rubbed her shoulders when she said work was stressful, made dinner, and at night, after she fell asleep beside me like nothing was wrong, I got to work. I logged into our mortgage portal and checked the current deed. It was still under both our names. That needed to change. The next day, I met with a lawyer during my lunch break, explained the situation in vague terms, asked if there was a legal way to transfer my ownership, all of it, to someone I trusted, someone she couldn't touch if things got ugly. My sister, Mia, was the obvious choice. She'd always had my back, never liked my wife. Said she smiled like someone who was already planning her escape. I used to think Mia was just being dramatic. I sent Mia a message, "Need your help. You'll own my house by the end of the week. No questions right now." She just replied, "Done. Whatever you need." By Friday, the paperwork was moving. Quiet, clean, legal. I removed my name from the joint checking account the next morning. I rerouted my paycheck to a new private one she didn't know about. I left $220 in the old account just to keep it from flagging. She didn't notice. Not when she was shopping online for matching lamps. For his apartment. I saw the shipping confirmation. She was using our joint card. My money. She used me to escape her past, and now she thought she could use me to fund her next future. But I wasn't going to stop her. I was going to let her walk right into it. Because once she stepped outside that door, she wasn't coming back. It was a Sunday morning when she finally made her move. I was sitting at the kitchen table, drinking coffee, scrolling through job listings. Not because I needed a new job. I just wanted to know what else was out there now that I'd finally cleared up all the financial deadweight I'd been carrying. She walked in wearing one of those fake sincere expressions, like she'd been practicing it in the mirror. "I think we should talk," she said. I took another sip. "Sure. What's on your mind?" She didn't sit down. Instead, she leaned on the counter, arms folded, and gave me this half-sad, half-pitying look. "I've been feeling disconnected for a while," she said. "And I think we need space. Just time to figure ourselves out." I stared at her. I let the silence hang. Then I nodded. "You're right. Totally fair." That threw her off. She blinked. "Wait, seriously?" "Yeah," I said. "Actually, I packed some of your stuff already. It's in the living room." Her face twitched. "You packed my things." I stood up, real calm. Walked her into the living room. There it was. One medium-sized moving box. A folder on top. She opened it. Her face drained of color. Inside the folder were the finalized mortgage deed, no longer in either of our names. Just Mia's. A receipt showing our joint account had been closed. A printout of her text messages with the guy. I had synced her iPad weeks ago. And at the very top, a single sticky note that said, "You're free now. No guilt." She didn't say anything for a long time. She just stood there, eyes bouncing between the papers and the door like she couldn't decide if she was going to run or scream. What is this?" she asked finally. "It's your future," I said. "Exactly the one you planned." She started stumbling over her words, trying to explain. Said she was confused, that she didn't mean it like that, and that it was just venting with a friend. That's when I cut her off. "I'm not angry," I said. "Just finished." And I meant that. I wasn't slamming doors or throwing things. I was just walking away from a deal that never should have been made in the first place. She asked if we could talk more. Said she wasn't ready to just end it like this. So I pointed at the box. "Then start with unpacking that," I said, and I walked out. That was the last time I saw her face in my living room. A week after she left, my phone blew up. I woke up to 3 missed calls, 2 voicemails, and a handful of messages from friends I hadn't talked to in months. Even my old high school buddy texted, "Yo, man, what's going on with your ex? You okay?" I checked Instagram. She'd posted a black and white photo of her face, red eyes, smudged eyeliner, and that same dramatic stare people use when they want to look tragic and poetic at the same time. Caption: "After everything I did for him, he threw me out like trash. Ladies, be careful who you build with. Some men only love the struggle version of you." And just like that, her comment section exploded. People I'd never met were posting things like, "You're so strong, queen. You deserve someone who sees your worth. Men are intimidated by powerful women." She was painting this narrative like I had used her. Like I suddenly kicked her out after leaning on her for years, as if she hadn't spent the last 12 months draining my bank account and planning her exit like a villain in a soap opera. At first, I just laughed. Honestly, it was so far from reality, it felt like watching a bad improv performance. But then I saw that his account, her coworker, had liked the post. That's when I stopped laughing, because it meant she was still trying to keep him around, still trying to validate the lie, hoping he'd stick through the mess she'd created. So I made my own post. Just one screenshot. No caption. No hashtags. Just a screen grab from the synced iPad. Her text to her best friend. "The night I paid off the debt. Now that he's paid everything off, I can finally leave. I don't even feel guilty anymore." And below that, I added a single line. No hard feelings. Just receipts. That's all I posted. I didn't tag her. I didn't name names. I didn't need to. The internet did the rest. Someone sent it to him. Someone else commented, "Girl, this you," under her original post. Within 48 hours, her account was deactivated. By the end of the week, she had taken down every post with his name in it. Every couple photo. Every empowerment caption. She tried to rewrite the ending of a story she wrote in betrayal. But I had the screenshots. I didn't have to shout. I just held up a mirror and let her reflection speak. It had been nearly a month of silence. After the Instagram fallout, she disappeared off social media completely. No more posts. No stories. No mutuals tagging her in anything. It was like she just vanished. I assumed she'd moved in with him. That maybe they were keeping things low-key while the drama cooled down. But then I got a call from Mia, my sister, the new legal owner of the house. She said, "You're going to want to come outside." I stepped out into the rain, and there she was, standing in the middle of the driveway, no umbrella, soaked through her hoodie, arms wrapped tight across her chest. Her hair was stuck to her face. Her makeup was a mess, not in a just cried way, more like hasn't slept right in days. She looked smaller somehow. She didn't say anything at first, just stood there. And then she finally said, "I messed everything up." I didn't answer. She stepped forward. He blocked me. After the screenshot thing, he said I made him look stupid. I waited. He never wanted a relationship. I thought I was getting a fresh start, but she laughed, and it cracked in the middle. Turns out I was the side piece. I left my marriage to be a side piece. She looked up at me, eyes red. "Please, I don't need everything back. Just you." That was her pitch. After all that, after I rebuilt her credit, after I let her live in a home I worked my whole life to pay off, after she planned her escape while I worked overtime to give her the future she claimed she wanted. Now she wanted me back. I didn't move, didn't raise my voice, didn't ask her why, just looked her in the eye and said, "You're standing in my sister's driveway. That's not my house anymore." She blinked like it didn't register. So I added, "You burned every bridge but came back to the one you thought would always be open." She didn't argue. She didn't scream. She just nodded once, bit her lip, and walked off into the rain. And I didn't follow. It's been 6 months since that night in the rain. She never came back. She didn't call again. Didn't message. No surprise emails. No letters. Nothing. And that's exactly how I wanted it. Turns out freedom feels nothing like what I thought. It's not champagne and vacations. It's not some dramatic epiphany at 3 a.m. with soft piano music in the background. It's walking into a space you paid for, sitting down on a secondhand couch, and realizing no one is draining you anymore. No one's hiding things behind your back while pretending to love you in front of your face. No one's asking for help while planning their escape. No one's keeping score. These days, I rent a small apartment near the edge of town. It's quiet. I've got a plant that hasn't died yet, and a neighbor who brings me banana bread on weekends. Life's not glamorous, but it's mine. All of it. I still talk to Mia all the time. She ended up flipping the house and turning a profit. Says it was the best investment I ever made. Sometimes, she sends me screenshots when my ex tries to reach out to her. Hey, can we talk? Here. Just wanted to check in there. Nothing aggressive. Just sad. She never replies. I told Mia not to block her. Let her try. Let her remember the house she lost. The life she walked out of. The man she thought would always be a safety net. I don't need to get even. She did it all herself. People say freedom is priceless, but I think that's wrong. It cost me $72,000, but I'd pay it again just to be this free. And that's the story. If you're still here, that means you're one of us. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I drop new chaos every single day, and trust me, tomorrow's story, it's even worse than this one.